And welcome back to White Claw Wednesday. This is episode 112, getting up there,
Frank,
almost at 115.
Frank,
What's up?
I forgot the claw. Hold up.
Okay, hold on. But did you hit record on your GarageBand?
I did, yeah.
Okay, then good. I'll just keep them live here. I'm gonna talk for a little
All right,
bit
all
about
right.
something. Yeah. So I was saying before Ryan interrupted me with his forgetfulness. That's okay. But I was gonna say we're at 112 right now, and uh, for any Call of Duty zombie fans out there, I don't know how many of you there are, but the number 115 is a big number in the Call of Duty zombies community because it's the number of the element that powers guns like the ray gun. And so episode 115, I was thinking about it today before we did 1112. I was like, 115, we'll just do a zombie themed episode where we talk about everything zombies, like from best zombie movies, best zombie TV shows,
I'm just going to let
best
you keep
zombie
going.
video games, best because I've always thought like one weekend zombie apocalypse, like what would you do, So that's just the tease for 115. But now that Ryan's back, I just cracked my claw. Ryan, crack yours.
Hey. I can't believe I forgot the claw.
All good. I kept him busy.
Wow.
Cheers.
Cheers up, brother. We got my claw
Ooh,
right
that's
here.
good.
Got my electrolyte drink.
Nice.
Got to hydrate.
So
What's up, man?
how's
What-
your snowboard injury doing? I just see the snowboard behind you, and I just
Oh.
need to think of your.
Yeah, I'm pretty much all better now. I don't want to
Yeah.
take any risks, though. So I'm not really doing anything heavy on my back until after the wedding because I don't want to be,
Okay.
Yeah.
at
the wedding with a broken back.
Oh, speaking about Ryan's upcoming wedding, I I don't know why I did it, but I totally forgot.
What'd you do?
Totally forgot to send my music to either you or Amanda
Oh, it's
before
okay.
the DJ cutoff.
You
It's all
can send
good,
it to
though.
me right now. There's not really a DJ cutoff 2 p.m. It's today is the cutoff. So
Oh, today is exciting. Okay, cool.
yeah,
Well,
send me the music.
I'm just gonna do it on live on the show, just because
And honestly,
I'm gonna forget if I don't do it again.
Yeah,
like
you
if
can
if
send
I
me
don't
music.
do it right now, I'm gonna continue to forget. Because
And I'll probably forget too.
it was
that's
one of those
just who I
tasks.
am.
It's okay if you forget to. And I was thinking about it as well. It's like, it's any music they play, like unless no, I any music. I feel like it's just one of those moments where it's just like it's such a good time, and it's such a happy moment that it's like I'm gonna get down to anything. So
Oh yeah, no, me too.
playlist or
I
no
agree.
playlist, I mean I'm so excited for.
I mean,
for
it's a
the tunes.
DJ. They've done
Yeah.
many weddings. I
Yep.
have faith that
That they'll know-
regardless
they
if we
know-
give them music or not, they'll be all right.
They know what they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, I just give them a genre, kind of
Mhm.
like a vibe, and they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
This DJ seems pretty cool too, so I'm pretty happy.
Okay. Well, here we go, Ryan. Here it comes. Whether you remember to include it or not, it's all good.
Oh, I
but,
will for sure. Sam sent me one. I've got one,
Okay, cool.
and I'm sure the DJ will be okay with requesting songs day of, but he just wants to be prepped,
Yeah, he wants to have a set list going, ready
Oh,
to
yeah.
go.
So, man, do you have anything to talk about? Because
Well, I mean,
I only have one thing to talk about, and I don't know how we can't talk about it.
yeah, and I think is it Russia invading Ukraine?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty wild for something like this to happen in a time of everybody having a camera,
Yes, and
Yeah.
it to be that exactly, right? Because I know people are getting hate online for there's like a video circulating that people are being like, "Oh, like this is a European, oh, they're white with, blue eyes, blonde hair." And I 100% agree, like we should treat wars all equal, but
Yeah.
the reason that it's such a big thing is people in the streets of Ukraine are recording everything. They're
Yeah.
posting online. It's accessible,
And I mean, it
So-
makes sense though. It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's weird to think about the comparisons between this invasion and invasions that happened in wars that are 50 plus years ago and 100 plus years ago, is that like
Mm-hmm.
those are all just eh, when you consume those as a child, or like like I guess people at a certain age now, like I'm trying to think of like anybody who's done with school at this point when they learned about wars and stuff. It was always photos and just photos and texts, and
History
you
books. Yeah.
exactly, you kind of had to interpret it
Right.
yourself through the reading and looking at the images and try to find the deeper story behind. But
Mm-hmm.
now I wonder, like, you fast forward like 20, 25 years from now, when you're
Mm-hmm.
looking back on this current, you know, Russia invasion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to see if cell phone videos and so on and so forth are used. Like you got like digital textbooks or something like that,
Yeah.
where you just
Yeah.
have an archive of all these different videos captured. Like I just wonder if like certain, or if it's too is it too like is it too violent to be like that I also wonder.
That's a good point too. Yeah, it's tough, man. I mean, I can imagine.
I mean, too violent to be shown in schools is what I'm
Right,
saying.
right,
Yeah.
yeah. We started. I can't even remember when we started learning about World War II or World War One for that matter. But
Yeah.
in school, I mean, I can't even remember. But we definitely weren't shown any graphic images.
Yeah.
Well, maybe some very malnourished people from
Mhm.
the Holocaust or something.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think it was pretty PG for a history book.
Yeah.
Or
I
for
don't remember
life,
seeing anything seriously you know, just hard to look at and just
traumatizing.
sad and
Yeah,
just
no,
like
I
until
feel you.
college. Like I only remember seeing stuff like that, like real images, like not pulling any punches, seeing
I wonder,
the worst of it. I only
but
remember
yeah,
doing
that's a
that in
good
college.
question. I wonder if somehow there's going to be like digital textbooks in the future to where they, I mean, there already are digital textbooks, but it's the textbook
Yeah.
just in digital form.
Yeah, just exactly. Yeah.
So in the future, maybe primarily it would be a digital textbook, and then you'd have like a supplemental actual book for, I don't know, problems and other exercises and stuff. But yeah, man, the war is insane. It's insane. I got it completely wrong. I don't know if you remember. I was like, I think it'll stop, with Ukraine trying to get the regions that he's already in and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Hey, you were thinking
I was thinking rationally,
rationally
like any
and
rational
morally.
person.
Yeah. So is morally a word?
Morally, yeah, morally,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Just morale with a Y at the end
Yeah,
instead of
ethically, yeah.
ethically, yeah.
Yeah, so he's Putin in Russia full on invaded Ukraine. Man, it's a crazy situation because you feel for the Ukrainian people, and I was looking at polls online, and America is very they're very united on a lot of things.
Yeah.
In that we should sanction them, we should do this, we should do that. And it was like, oh, should America do more? And then 80% is like, yes. And then it's like, should America send troops to Ukraine? And it's just like 80% no, right? So public opinion right now is really just stopping right on the sending Americans there. And I mean, I agree, right? This is a problem in the other side of the world. We don't want a war with Russia. That is so bad. I mean, you talk about the prospects of that, fighting a war with another nuclear power.
Yeah.
Even if there's a slight chance that it could go into, a nuclear war, we probably shouldn't take that chance, even if, I mean, what sucks is like, you see the suffering right now with like, the humanitarian crisis and Ukrainians having to go to Poland or Romania and other parts of Europe. And man, it sounds so privileged for me to say this, but like, it's like, we shouldn't get involved only because it could lead to something way, way worse. I mean, one nuke in a populated area, and we're talking millions dying, millions.
Yeah.
And I mean, it just blows my mind that we're actually talking about this in 2022. We just got to get through this decade, man. I just feel like this decade is just going to be one punch after another,
Yeah, and it's true. I didn't even think of that as like each year, like starting in 2020, like
Every
so far
year
each year has had
something's
something really shitty happen.
effed up. It's like we had COVID, then we had like crazy instability in society, then we had the insurrection.
Yeah.
Now we have this Ukraine war in 2022.
Everything
like,
you said before the Ukraine
Jesus.
was the combination of 2020 and 2021.
2020, 2021, and now we're in 2022. Yep.
Yeah, those in a way, like 2020 and 2021 really bled together for me.
And 2021 wasn't that bad. 2021, I mean, obviously we had COVID,
Actually,
we had the Omicron strain, but we had the insurrection in the beginning.
Yeah,
and
it was
kind of
almost
smooth
as if
sailing.
like you had like the just parts of 2021, like the beginning and middle parts of it bled into the end parts of 2020. Just
right, yeah,
because of the whole
that's fair, I guess.
Because of COVID starting at the end of 2020, and
yeah,
and I remember I'll never forget. I still remember at first it being like I remember seeing headlines about it on the internet, and
about COVID.
The headlines saying like, oh, it's like it's coming to America. It's gonna change everything.
Yeah,
and I remember seeing that and just being like, whatever. I've mentioned this before on the show, but I just have that image in my. I was just scrolling through YouTube. It was like a CNN video. It was and it was like a body in a, getting wheeled out into the ambulance, and yeah, it was just like it's coming to America and it's gonna change everything. And I was like, whatever. And then boom, it couldn't have been truer.
Isn't it crazy how this whole Ukrainian crisis is going on right now? And literally, I mean, I feel like I haven't thought about COVID until I just mentioned it right now. I mean, it's not even a big deal anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Dude,
and it's also because, we're on sort of we're in the green zone or whatever, however you want to describe it. But
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like the post-pandemic, and I don't know if I want to jinx it, but I feel like we're kind of cruising there. And maybe it's just because there's something else we got to focus on, But who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, I just had your bachelor weekend and I had the other bachelor weekend, and knock on wood, I'm feeling good, and I didn't really think about COVID at all during either of those escapades. Is that the right word? Escapades? Is escapade?
I don't know. You're just making words up today, dude.
Dude, I'm actually gonna look that up. I'm gonna dictionary
escapade is
here.
Probably a
I'm
word.
gonna see if escapade is the right word to describe. Escapade.
It does sound like an adventure, like an escapade adventure.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yes, here we go. An act or incident involving excitement, daring, or adventure.
Hey, there we go.
Oxford Dictionary. Yep.
Nice, dude. Nice. Good vocab. Dude, my vocab has gone downhill ever since I graduated. I don't know. I just don't read.
I'll tell you
anymore.
why, Ryan. It's
I need
because
to read.
There we go. You just answered before I could. I thought you were about to say I don't know why, and then I was like, well, it's because you don't read it as much as you did in school, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But that's what's so
I
funny about
why.
something like vocabulary is that it's like anything. You just have to do whatever makes said thing stronger. Like
keep
if you're working
greasing the cog.
Yeah, if you're working on
working
biceps, you got to do thousands of curls or whatever. And if you're working on your vocabulary, you got to read thousands of words. It's like sometimes it's the solution's so simple, but it's
Are you a
so
reader?
hard.
Are you a reader?
Oh
still?
no, I'm not a reader at all. No. My favorite book series of all time is Harry Potter. So that kind of
nice.
gauges, and shows you how high my reading skills went and my reading interest went. I was very picky.
I was never a reader either. I never read the Harry Potter series. Which
you didn't?
Just
okay.
shows you how little I ever read.
Yeah, did you read any of the popular young adult books or?
I didn't read Twilight. Didn't read Harry Potter.
What about Hunger Games?
Nope, never read Hunger Games.
Divergent?
Nope.
Percy Jackson?
Was that a book? That was a book. No,
yeah, Divergent was based on a book series.
Nope, never read any of those.
Percy Jackson?
Nope.
Artemis Fowler?
Nope.
Gregor the Overlander?
I don't even know what that is, dude.
See, this is this. Okay,
I'm
Ryan,
telling you,
wow.
I was just
You really missed out on the whole young adult book phase
I know,
of our
I know.
generation.
The pre-internet.
growing
I
up.
should have
Yeah.
been there. But I don't know. It's as a kid, I was just too antsy to do anything like that. And I know that's
To
like
read,
a
yeah.
dumb excuse, but
Oh no, that's dude. That's hey man. That's
like sitting and just
That-
looking at a page and reading and not getting distracted was so difficult for me.
that's
And
that's not uncommon.
I know that's true.
But I do
But-
like that the fact that you're able to do things like video games at that age. But
yeah, well, video
it's-
games
it-
is like boom, boom,
it-
boom, boom, boom. you know?
exactly, it's just interesting how certain things can like get your attention. And it's just like everybody's
Yeah.
wired differently because, there were kids out there at the same time as you when you were like, not being able to sit still, but you were getting, a tactical nuke on Modern Warfare 2.
Oh yeah,
Um,
oh yeah.
There were other kids who were like, who couldn't even stand to play 20 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes of a video game. Meanwhile,
'Cause-
they
'Cause they
read
would
the
think
whole
it's
new
pointless,
Harry
right?
Potter book
Yeah,
as soon as
yeah.
it dropped out. It's like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just and that's what I thought was so cool for me as a reader is that there were only certain series and books that just got me and just made me want to read. Is that,
Dude, I love how you describe yourself as a reader. That's just, I love it, dude.
hey, Ryan,
No, you were a reader. You were a reader.
everybody's a reader. We don't realize how much we read all day.
That's true. That's true.
Dude,
Dude, do you ever find yourself, you're like reading an article? Sorry to interrupt,
Yeah.
but you ever find yourself reading an article or you're reading
Uh-huh.
about something, you're trying to learn something, and
Yeah.
you kind of, you're trying to like get as much information with as little effort as possible, and so you're kind of skimming through.
You're skimming, yeah.
And then you get down to the bottom and you're like, okay, I didn't understand any of that. And so you have to go all the way back to the top
Dude,
and read word for word. I'm just like,
Yeah.
fuck, man. Didn't work this time.
That sucks. And what sucks even more than that is when you actually read every single word, start to
Mhm.
finish, and then as soon
You
as you
still
finish,
don't
you're
know.
like, wait, what did I just read?
Yeah. Dude, it
That's-
happens to me all the time with coding. Like I'm
And
trying
see,
to learn something.
That's kind of where I was similar to you with reading, in that not that I physically couldn't sit still, but mentally I couldn't sit still. So if a book wasn't capturing my imagination like a Hunger Games or a Harry Potter, then I would start thinking of everything but what I was reading. So it's amazing how good I was in school at just reading something and not taking in any of it. Like,
yeah,
just
it's
like
kind of crazy, huh?
it was it's such a mind effort. Like I'm
I
even
could-
like saying the words in my head. Like I'm even saying the words
Yes,
in my head,
yes.
but my brain is still able to not think about the
You're
words it's saying.
literally reading it, but you're thinking about something else.
It's
That happened to me.
insane.
That
Like,
would happen to me all the time. I'd be like, wait a second. What did I just read? And I have to go back
Yeah.
a paragraph or two. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
Jesus, how did I do that?
mhm.
Yeah, reading's hard, man. I don't know how we got to reading from Ukraine and Russia, but
Yeah, this
Hey.
is what happens sometimes. you know?
exactly. You get a sip of claw on you, and woof.
I think it's mostly because with a topic, like Russia invading Ukraine, when you know as little as I do, it's
Mm.
hard to say much. Besides, I'm with.
So have you
Ukraine
been keeping up,
and I
or
don't-
what?
Well, all I know is that I'm on the side of Ukraine, and I think Russia should just back out of there. Oh, and isn't the Ukraine
Peace to the world.
exactly isn't the Ukraine president guy in charge of Ukraine? Isn't he? Sam told me some quote about him saying we don't need supply, or like I don't need a taxi out or something. I need ammunition or something like
Yeah,
that.
the U.S. tried to or offered him like safe
Yeah.
passage out of
Safe
there.
passage. Yeah.
He said, "I don't need a ride. I need ammo."
Yeah, there we
Dude,
go.
that guy. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Man, it hits you. It hits you in the heart. Like he's just fighting for his people.
Yeah.
Ukraine's not a perfect democracy, and like there is no perfect democracy, of course, but
True.
there are better ones. Ukraine
Yeah.
did have a lot of corruption. I mean, you can't be that close to Russia without Russian money and corruption, hitting you.
Yeah. And just that attitude of him being like, "Oh, we need ammo." That's sort of
yeah.
just that
Oh,
that
yeah.
that even though they're Ukrainian,
it's a rally cry, is what it
it
is.
feels like, like you said, not far from Russian ways. Of like because he's like he's the Jew. He's being tough. He's being the tough
Oh,
guy.
yeah.
Like he's like he's
Well-
like, okay, we're gonna fight back. And to me that kind of goes back to what you say about like the whole why maybe we shouldn't get involved, because if we tried to help out Ukraine and went against Russia, like we don't want to have to fight Russia.
No, I mean, first of all, that would kill a ton of Americans regardless if we use nukes or not.
Yeah.
But it would ultimately escalate into nuclear warfare because one nation's just going to continue using. That's the thing with war is like we've gotten to a point, you know, and I think we may have talked about this before, but like the military industrial complex, we've created these weapons that are just so freaking powerful that you don't really need a lot. You don't need a big army anymore. You just need a lot of funding and science and technology, right? And so it's just one army is just going to continue to use the bigger and worse weapon, and they're going to validate, you know, using the worst weapon because they just got destroyed by another weapon. It just keeps going and going and going until eventually someone uses a nuke, and that is not a good day for anybody in society. That's not a good day for the world. So
so I guess
heavy topic, man.
Yeah, it's one of those things where don't really know what the solution is. I'm glad you found that funny.
Dude, you were cracking me up today, man. Yeah, it's true. People suck, dude. We don't know what to do.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. Damn it. God.
Isn't it funny how in 2022, me and you can just get online, have a mic, and just start talking about these major issues and have, you know, our opinions as if they make a difference or as if we even know a solution or, you know.
Well, yeah, that's what's so fun about the modern world is you can really
everyone's got an opinion, you know.
Everybody's got an opinion, but also you can really like be anything. You know what I mean?
I saw
you
someone
can claim
on Twitter.
yourself to be anything if you just do what it takes to be in the category of whatever you're claiming to be. You know? You become that person. Like if someone tweeted about every single movie that they saw right after they saw it, like their thoughts, and they did like a whole like full ass tweet or whatever, however long a tweet can be, they probably could, they could consider themselves a movie critic. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
dude, I totally get what you're saying. I literally just saw this the other day, and I'm gonna try and find it. But
okay,
there's this guy on Instagram. His name's Dr. Bo Hightower. He's actually a chiropractor, but he's like total comedian on Instagram. He posts a bunch of things about fighting and all these like funny things. Anyways, he's like, last week I was I don't know, infectious disease doctor. Like this week I think I'm going to be a foreign policy, advisor. It's like people just pick and choose, everyone's got an opinion. You can just turn into someone who's an expert all of a sudden because you say it strongly or something.
Yeah, I always think about person from school trash talking The Dark Knight Rises on Twitter, and I saw it on another buddy's Twitter, and I immediately made a Twitter to get in an argument with this person.
I love this story. Yeah.
And once I went through all the work of making the Twitter, and it was time to argue, I just didn't care anymore. And I ended up deleting the Twitter account, but it's like that's just one of those, examples of whatever we were just talking about,
Yeah.
Speaking of, Ryan, the new Batman movie comes out on Friday.
I know.
The Batman movie I was just mentioning, Dark Knight Rises, is the last Batman movie, like just about Batman. I'm so excited I knocked out my headphone.
Are you going to do a little preclude of...
Okay, I'm back.
Are you going to do a little preclude of it? I can't find the post, by the way, so I'm just...
Oh, it's all good.
Scratch that. Yeah, dude, I'm super excited. Excited.
Yeah, I mean, it's already gotten really good reviews, and people are already starting to talk about whether Of course, they're going to compare it to The Dark Knight,
Oh yeah, yeah,
Batman
yeah.
movie with Heath Ledger and Christian Bale. Um, and
Do you
yeah,
think he got the voice right? And I know we haven't seen the movies, but the trailer gives a
the trailer gives a pretty good idea of how he
pretty
sounds.
good idea. Yeah.
I do. I like what he did.
Okay.
It's almost as if.
I'm on the edge right now. I really am. So
So what
there's
are your
parts,
thoughts on it?
man, I just I don't know. It didn't seem consistent enough for me. Like when
Like between scenes in the trailer when he's
yes,
okay.
yes. Like when who's the other actor? I'm sorry.
Who's
Dark
playing the
Knight?
villain or playing?
No, the
Christian Bale. Christian Bale.
Christian Bale had a very consistent voice when he had the mask on, when he was Batman.
Yeah,
I wasn't getting that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't want to be too, critical right now, of course. I want to watch the movie. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm really excited. I'm glad they're doing the Riddler too, honestly. I mean, I feel like that's a very complex villain and unpredictable.
And we also only think of him
lots of
as like a
surprises.
goofy Jim Carrey.
That's true.
And
That's
this
true.
Riddler looks much more.
He's like, well, they've got the DC vibe going, which is,
Oh yeah, they got the
we've
whole
talked
like
about this before.
the dark, about as dark as it gets, honestly.
Dark and gray and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It just like it looks. Oh man, it honestly like I can't like. I haven't been excited for a movie. I haven't been this excited for a movie in a while. I mean, Batman holds a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
And
of course.
for anybody who's played the Batman Arkham games, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Origins, Arkham Knight, they have a very specific fighting style where it's really brutal and fast, and it's a lot of elbows and a lot of punch combos, and also a lot of disarming of guns and weapons and using them against the enemies. Like he grabs a lot of barrels and just smacks the guys with the ends of the guns. That's what he does in the end of the most recent trailer. They have a great one shot where it's kind of swooping along with Batman, and he takes one bad guy's gun and then he uses it to like knock out two more, and then the camera kind of swoops in on his face and he does this,
I didn't
look
catch
to the
that. Nice.
look to the camera. It's man. So
Did you?
and
Go ahead. Continue.
I've also heard it has a very detective, because Batman's known as the world's greatest detective. So I think this movie apparently is very much a horror mystery, in that you have a criminal doing awful things and Batman's on the case. He's solving clues, trying to find this killer, and along the way, of course, he's gonna have to beat up some thugs, because it's Gotham City.
Do you know if this Batman's already established, or is he just
so from what
beginning
I've
to
heard
become
is that
Batman?
He's very early on. I've heard that this
That's
is like
the vibe that I was getting.
this is like
Especially from
year one. I'm pretty sure this is year one.
Gotcha.
And
Gotcha.
I get that vibe from the trailers and just Robert Pattinson's age, and also Penguin, played by Colin Farrell in the trailer. He has a line where he's like, "Oh, this guy's crazy," when like Batman's chasing him down in a Batmobile, and that line gives me the vibe of, this guy's crazy. Like I've never who is this dude? You know what I mean? Like where that what the, so I think it's a very early
Good call.
on Batman.
Good catch.
Yeah.
Did you catch the lack of like police awareness in the trailer when the Riddler comes out and he's like, or not the Riddler, the guy that the Riddler strapped a bomb to.
Yeah, with the bomb. Yeah.
Sitting there, it must have been a cool 30 seconds. Well, maybe not 30 seconds, but it's like it pans like to Batman,
Yeah.
then to the guy that's in the bomb, then up to like, the Riddler in the rafters, then back to Batman, then back to the guy in the bomb. And it's like the Riddler starts talking through him. And then all of a sudden the police are like, all right, everybody out. It's like, come on, guys.
I'm pretty sure that's just, it's an exaggerated way of showing that Batman / Bruce Wayne, Bruce Wayne in that moment, he's one step ahead. Like it's sort of like a 3-step ladder. You have the Riddler at the top, then you have Batman right underneath, and then you have the police underneath Batman. So the Riddler knows what's going on. Batman's figuring out what's going on, figures it out, and then the police are, the idiots, so they're kind of one step behind him. I mean, that's just usually how you make your detective the greatest, is you make the other people who are doing his job dumb
good
around
call,
him. You know what I'm
call,
saying?
Good call. Yeah, dude, I'm excited. Honestly, super excited. I've got a gift card to Regal. There's an
Nice.
IMAX right here. I think I might just
Send it.
pull the trigger on that IMAX.
Dude,
Did
you
you,
should, man. It's the movie to see in IMAX if you're going to do a movie in
Right.
IMAX, that's for sure.
Right. Did you happen to see Uncharted?
Yes, I did see Uncharted.
Did you? Awesome.
Yes,
Okay.
I actually did.
What'd you think?
It's a movie where it's really
Don't hold back.
It's if it wasn't Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland
Yeah.
in the starring roles,
Mm-hmm.
man,
Would it be so
it
bad?
would nobody. Ooh, man, it'd be hard to watch because it's so
It's
generic.
so true. Yeah.
And-
it's so cheesy and just
and, yeah,
typical.
And it's just it was just a movie where I just felt like I knew every step. Like I was like,
It's just a check. You're
especially
checking boxes,
especially the setup. You know, the setup of the movie. It was just so obvious. Like he has this older brother, Nathan Drake, played by Tom Holland, has this older brother, and Mark Wahlberg wants to recruit Nathan Drake to help him find this treasure. And they in the opening scene is Nathan Drake, Tom Holland talking to his older brother about this treasure, and then the older brother leaves and is like, "I'll come back for you, bro. I'm gonna find the treasure." And then you like fast forward a few years, and it's like now Tom Holland's grown up as Nathan Drake, and he's like got a
Right.
job, and he runs into Mark Wahlberg, and
Right.
Mark Wahlberg recruits him, but Tom Holland's like, nah. And then Mark Wahlberg mentions the brother, and Tom Holland's like, okay, I'm in. And then it's just like the whole like, oh, and then of course Mark has a secret about the brother that he doesn't tell Tom till like the right before the third act of the movie to drive
Right.
up. It's just,
Right.
it was everything you just, and then you got a character betraying like a female character that you can't trust who like keeps
Constantly.
flip flopping teams, who
She was annoying,
constantly
honestly.
flip flopping. Did you see it too?
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh hell yeah, dude! Okay, okay, cool. I didn't realize that. So what did you think?
It was one of those movies where I felt like the team had like a list from Sony of all the things they needed to include in the movie.
Yeah.
And they just went one by one, just started checking the boxes like, okay, this is in there, next. It was just like, it got to a point where it was just too much. And I feel so bad because I made Amanda watch it with me. And I was, she like immediately halfway through, she's like on her phone scrolling through Instagram. And like, typically I'd be like, come on, you know? But honestly, I wasn't upset about this because I could tell it just was not that type of movie for her.
Yeah.
But
Gracie
there
fell
was
asleep. So
nice. Yeah, I don't know. I was really excited for it, to be honest, and it was disappointing, but maybe it's only because I had played the video games that I was so excited for it. You know?
yeah, I played the video games as well, and I like every video game movie, and it gets me every time. Like they introduce the iconic piece of the character right at the end of the movie. Like he doesn't get his gun strap.
His
Until
like saddle strap thing.
His
I don't
shoulder
know.
holster. He doesn't get like
Yeah.
a shoulder holster
Yeah.
until the end.
Yeah.
And then you don't see Sully with the mustache until the after credit scene. Did you stay
And
for the
it's-
after credit scene?
Oh, I didn't.
Oh yeah. So there's an after credit scene which features the villain. Do you remember the evil pirate from Game of Thrones? He was like in the last few seasons. He kind of had the squished face with he was the white guy, and he got with the black beard,
Evil
and he had the big
pirate.
eyes, and he looked really evil, and he was coming in
No.
on the ships, and he fought Jaime Lannister in the finale, and they basically
Nope.
fought to the death.
I don't remember this.
He's playing this villain in this end credit scene, and
Mhm.
Nathan Drake and Sully come into this bar. Well, first Nathan Drake does, and he's like bantering with the villain, and then he like says he like basically pickpockets him, and then everybody pulls their guns on Nathan Drake, and then Sully busts through the door and saves Nathan Drake, and Sully's got the mustache on. And Nathan comments about it, and then like the boom, that's the end credit scene, and it's like they're off on another adventure, and then
Of
boom.
course.
It was
So it was too much like a video game to me. That's
yeah,
what, like,
yeah.
It was almost as if they wanted, you know, and it sounds good, like they wanted to make it seem like it was a video game, but I don't know, it just wasn't my taste. I hope if they do not reboot, but if they do another one, which I think they will.
They probably will.
Then I hope they shift a little bit, you know. I hope they got all they got out all the awkward origin story, like just throw it together real quick. Like that scene in the beginning
Yeah.
with the older brother and the younger brother. I mean, Nathan Drake and his older brother.
Why did they have a younger actor play a younger Tom? Why did they do that?
Right?
Like he's already a young Nathan Drake. Why would you start with a younger Nathan Drake?
I don't know, man. And it didn't hit for me. And then they used the same actor for the brother, which shout out
guy
Outer
from
Banks.
Outer Banks, yeah.
JJ.
So,
I mean, glad for
Which
him.
is funny because JJ's like the same age as Tom Holland.
Yeah, he's like
So it's
not
like,
that old.
And they put that dumb beard on him.
On him.
Yeah.
So you're not fooling anyone. So,
No, yeah.
but
It
he
was
died
just-
off anyways. So,
yeah, man, it was
spoiler.
just one of those,
Jeez, wow, my bad.
Yeah, it was just one of those,
Or did he?
True. Yeah, because
No, you saw, right?
yeah, exactly. He didn't. Yeah, or did he? Yeah, Ryan. Yeah.
Did he? Wow.
Did he?
See,
Yeah,
now you're
wow.
spoiling things. I was
Like,
trying to
wait a
throw
second.
everyone astray. Nah, it was an okay movie. Honestly, it wasn't that great.
I think it'd be better if they went more grounded in the sense of they made it more of like almost like a national treasure where
yes,
he's
I
not
agree.
he's not doing things like jumping from crate to crate midair as a plane's flying. Like
I don't mind that actually.
Oh, you didn't mind that part?
No, I can
Okay.
dig a outlandishly unrealistic
Where the physics is
action
thrown out the window.
scene where you're literally chatting with someone on top of a car
Yeah.
that's literally
Falling down the okay, yeah. No, I enjoy
I
it too.
can dig that.
I enjoy it too. But I just think in order to get everything we want, I think we need to have a grounded story because the things that we are disliking, I think, go hand in hand with those
That's
ridiculous
true.
action
That's
sequences
true.
that say
It's like
F
how
you
can
to
you have
physics.
a realistic story and then an unrealistic scene like that? I
Exactly.
get
You
Yeah.
kind of the movie itself has to be dumb around that scene in a way.
you. Yeah.
So
yeah.
if you did something realistic or more realistic, like them just going through like a cave, like a full adventure, like them trying to find a hidden temple or something, and the whole movie is just booby traps and kind of cramped and claustrophobic in a way, and do something that's more not just ripping off sequences for the video games.
Yeah, and that last like the location of the treasure, it just I'm like I'm watching it and like okay, come on, someone would have found that. Like there's no way. Like that cave
Yeah,
was
just
beautiful.
swimming
And
under.
all you have to do is swim under this thing and then you're there. Did you notice too that sequence where he swims
Yeah.
under and then he climbs on the little little island in there and he looks
Yeah.
freaking jacked and swole.
Yeah, because he's got the white shirt and it's wet. Yeah,
It's wet, yeah. Immediately after, he's like
dry.
on. I don't know if he's dry yet, but he's
Oh.
on the actual ships now, and he's like, looking for treasure.
Uh-huh.
It's like, it looks like he lost like 10 pounds, dude. I feel like they purposely
shot that
made
scene?
that scene at the end so that he could, have time to gain more weight or something.
Okay, yeah. So you're saying they shot that scene when he was at his biggest, and then post that shoot he lost weight, and then. Okay, yeah, I see what you mean.
No, like they waited till the end of shooting to shoot that exact scene. So that he could have more time to
to
bulk
get
up.
to it. Okay, so you're saying the other way. He was bulking up throughout the shoot, and
Yeah,
then by the end
or-
of the shoot, he was at his biggest, and then okay.
Or he just did a bunch of push-ups before that specific one. I don't know.
Either seems likely.
Who knows?
with a shot like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So overall number, what are you giving it?
I'm giving it a
Out of 10.
disappointing. I'm giving it a disappointing 4.
Okay.
And honestly, if I wasn't a fan of Uncharted and I didn't play the video games, don't watch it. Like seriously.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a 3, and I would do a 4, but I swear for the first half of that movie, if not more, Mark Wahlberg, I've never seen him phone it in more than that.
Yeah, it just
Like
it didn't.
I swear I swear he had a person behind the camera holding up his lines like on a teleprompter, and he was just reading them after action was called. Because I
You
mean
didn't think he was into it?
I've seen a lot of Mark Wahlberg movies from the bottom to the top of critical consideration, and I've seen better performances in The Happening, which is a bad M. Night Shyamalan movie. So
yeah,
that's the reason.
True.
That's what takes it.
Yeah.
That's what takes it down from a 4 to a 3 for me. Is the fact that I only had half of the star power actually giving their effort. So.
Did you know that Tom Holland pitched an origin story for James Bond?
James Bond, yeah. And they decided to do this.
Yeah. Man, I'm almost glad because if
I'm
they
glad
got
they
the
didn't do it. Yeah.
Director and botched an origin story for James Bond. You can't do that. You can't do that.
You can't. And honestly, Tom Holland as James Bond, I don't know. I'm just not buying it.
Neither am I, but I honestly didn't buy the Nathan Drake one. But whatever.
I didn't buy that at all.
I brushed it off. See, the voice for me again. It's the voice.
It's the voice.
I don't want to be a stickler on that thing, but Tom Holland's voice is not. It doesn't sound like Nathan Drake from the video games at all.
No, he's
Tom
not.
Holland's voice is very upbeat and.
Yeah, Nathan Drake is he's in his 30s.
He's a gritty character.
Yeah, he's
raspy voice.
Yeah, it's.
I don't know.
Yeah, but
different.
What are you gonna do? All right, well.
What are you gonna do?
Next week, I think we'll talk about Batman. Give our
I don't know if I'm gonna
that.
see it, but
you don't think you'll see it by next episode?
When does it come out? It comes out this weekend.
Comes out on Thursday night. Yeah.
Maybe I will. I'll see.
Okay.
I'll see.
Well, Ryan, you ready to wrap this sucker up?
Absolutely, brother.
All right, dog. Here's 1112 coming to a close.
1112.
Thank you for listening, commenting, subscribing, liking, all that stuff. We
1112,
love y'all.
Frank. 1112.
1112. Oh wait, 112. 112. All right.
112. Thank you, everyone.
Peace out.
Love y'all. Peace.